Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my webinar. My name is Colin Wilson. I'm the owner of Key Business Advisors, and today I'm doing a webinar on how to build a great culture within your business. It's a free webinar and it is recorded. And for those who can't make it, they will get a copy of the recording. It will be put up on our website for future reference. And for those who are joining me today, thank you very, very much for joining me on this webinar because it's a new year, 2023, and we've got nearly 40 people that have registered for this webinar, which is really exciting. So I just want to do a bit of a check to make sure, can you hear me? So there's a chat box. Can you just put it into the chat box? Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can see you. And we can see a copy of your presentation. That would be fantastic. Wonderful. All right. So let me get started. For the next 45 minutes, I'm going to give you everything that I've got that's in relation to how to build great culture within your business. Okay. And some of the things we're going to talk about today is how to kick off this year on a positive note, how to empower staff to take more ownership. I think is really important. That's what we want them to do. And how to increase better performance across your business. So how do we get departments working with one another so everyone's on the same page going in the same direction? Ideally, that's what we want, but it's not that easy. But it takes a bit of time to build your business to get it up there. And then the biggest challenge is keeping it up there when you've actually got it. Okay, a little bit about myself. We're actually 15 years old now, just clocked over 15 years in this business, Key Business Advisors. As I said before, I am the owner. I'm very passionate about helping businesses go from good to great through business improvement solutions. We're an outsourced HR business. And we just love what we do, and I'm here to share that knowledge with you today. I've got a Q&A at the end, so you can ask me any question you like. Our mission at Key Business Advisors is all about taking businesses from good to great. So you're here, how do we get you to that next level? And sometimes, once I've got to that next level, it's good. How do we go even greater again and really build that business to last? And that's all back from the book and the author of Jim Collins, who we just absolutely idolise. Our purpose is always to take our customers on a journey to help them improve their business through all aspects of employee engagement and performance. And what we know is if we've got a team that are all performing together and following our leadership, then we know that things are going to just grow very, very quickly. So I hope you enjoy this webinar, and let me get into my first topic. As it says there's 4 key elements to our business, which is around, as you can see, business strategy, growth, people, culture. We're an outsourced HR business, and we do a lot of training, leadership and sales training. So we're now a team of 13 people at Key Business Advisors. So we've actually grown over the Christmas period, which is very, very exciting. All right, so my first topic is how to kick the year off on a positive note. So my number one tip is we've got to embrace 2023 and definitely not look in the rear vision mirror of what's happened in the past. And again, a lot of the work that I'm doing is, we've gone through a pandemic and that's all in the past. And last year was about, how do we rebuild? But this is the year. This is the year where we can really take advantage of what we've missed out on for the last 3 years. And that's the way that my attitude is. That's the way that I communicate that through our team and through our clients. So my number one point there is you want to share your vision of the year ahead. And I don't know whether you're well planned and organised with running things for the year ahead, but we certainly are. And that's what I actually coach. You need to have a positive mindset. So this positive mindset that I talk about as a leader, so whether you're a business owner or a manager, the positive mindset is, doesn't matter the situation you're already in, 2023 is kicked off. It's the year of opportunity. I think also too, I talk about stay focused on your strategy. And for anyone who's done work with me, I'm all about what's your strategic plan in your business on how you're going to get your business to the next level. And I'll share some insight with you in a sec about, some of the topics that I work with a lot of clients. And I'm forever saying to business owners, if it's not documented and you don't have a plan, then how do you share that with all of your leaders in the business? And we commonly hear, we've got a plan, we know what we're doing, the whole lot. We communicate that to our team. But for me, it's not good enough. For me, you build a strategic plan, you put dates and actions and items into that strategic plan, you work out who is responsible, and it's all about how you actually get there. And again, we practice what we preach. We have a very, very clear vision in our business, a very clear plan of what we want to do. And each person in my business knows where they sit and how they contribute to part of that plan. And that plan creates two responsibilities. One, for them to help me execute the plan, and number two, for me to make sure that I'm helping them get to that next level. We want to embrace change where needed. Now, again, this morning I had a conversation with a client. Too much change too quickly is going to create disruption in your business. So we want to embrace change. And I think the thing is, how do you get your team involved and I've used the thing called emotional intelligence. You work with your team, we have a problem here, how do you think we're going to fix it? As opposed to me coming in saying, this is what we're doing, and being that hierarchy. The hierarchy is no longer a thing of 2023, I can assure you of that. You want to just enjoy the journey that comes your way in the year ahead. Now, for those who want to get to know me a little bit better, one of the things that I'm really big on is that big vision, that big belief, and manifest. Just manifest that things are going to happen, positive things are going to happen to you, and the work is going to come. And that's certainly a big thing that I've worked on over the last couple of years. And if things are not working quite right, well, okay, we've got to go back to the drawing board and then work out a plan and then just believe that it's actually going to happen. As it says there, you create the vibe, and you bring your team with you. So as a director of a business or a manager of a department, your role is to embrace 2023, let them know this is what we've got planned ahead for the year coming, and we want you part of that journey, and we want you on board 100%. Because if they're not on board, they're not going to help you grow your business, that's for sure. Okay. I talked about the strategic plan. Here's some things that we work on with clients. Mission, vision, purpose, and values. Do you believe in them? Is it relevant? What's your organizational strategy? So how are you going to grow? What does that plan look like? Financial sustainability is everything in a business. So how are we going to manage our cash flow? How are we going to generate new revenue streams in our business? How are we going to minimize risk and costs and stuff like that? You look at your current service offerings. So our products and services, are they relevant today? Are people buying our products and services? What could we do to actually improve? And that could be packaging, altering or change things. I think it's really, really important. I think the other thing too is, I've got that topic around people and capability. So what do we want from our team? And believe it or not, it still surprises me every day that we go into, some new client opportunities, and the simple stuff like an organizational chart of what everyone's role and responsibilities are that fit within an organization. They're old, right? So, I'm very big on make sure it's updated. You've got everyone on board. This is where we're going. And if there are roles in your business because you want on an expansion or a growth plan, then okay, create some vacancies on your org chart. This is a vacant role, because that might be inspiring for some people wanting to apply for that role. Marketing is the big thing of today, and we certainly knew during COVID, if you didn't have a marketing plan in your business or some sort of strategy to market your business, then you're in a lot of trouble because everything became online. Okay, things are getting back to normal now, and probably I'm doing more face-to-face training now than I've ever done. But marketing is a big part of sales. It's a big part of revenue, income stream. Your brand is everything. And the people who represent your company are also part of that brand. So if they can't see it and you're not articulating that, then that also could get rid of some of the motivation in the business. Better processes through technology. So this is a big thing of today. So how do we do things, and how do we do things right, smarter, quicker, and can we do it through some form of technology? And then the big thing is, do we need technology in our business to get us to that next level? What's your growth strategy? Is it around, growing your existing client base, your products and services? It might be maybe merging with somebody, or an acquisition where you go and purchase out another business. And we work with lots of clients who, especially family businesses, who go for that acquisition. How do we merge or create some sort of acquisition to get to that next level? And the big thing that costs a business a lot of money is the thing around compliance and risk. So if I've not got no compliance or risk strategy in my business, then I could be doing a lot of work, spending a lot of money, and we're growing through the front end, but we're losing stuff out the back end, and that's not the secret of running a successful business. By the way, if you've got any questions, feel free to ask me some of those questions, but you can go to our website and you can have a look at what our strategic plan, some of the things that we do, and I run workshops on it because I feel that a lot of business owners, they tend to create some sort of strategy document, but I hold them accountable to make sure we actually do it and then execute it. So my tip is to plan the year ahead, right? So some things that you want to set some excitement for your team, depending on your business and what you want to do. But I've got some suggestions there. So for example, a sponsored event, right? So we're part of City of Moonee Valley. We're going to sponsor the Women in Breakfast, right? So then my team in Key Business Advisors, there's 3 guys and 10 women, right? So pretty much, the Women in Business luncheon that we all went to last year, they loved it, and I loved it too. I went there as part of it, and can we do it again? Absolutely. And we want to, we really value our relationship with the City of Moonee Valley, so we're going to sponsor the Women in Business event, and that's an event that's happening in May this year, and our team are very excited about it. You might want to take your team out for a breakfast or a lunch or a dinner. And again, that's something that we do. I don't do it every week. I don't do it every month, but every couple of months we do some sort of function to get the team together as just as a bit of a chit chat. We do have drinks on a Friday afternoon, on the last Friday of every month, just to say thank you for everyone. So again, it's the little things that, help create that positive environment. You might want to get your clients and do an exhibition or some sort of trade show. So again, I said we're very well organised for 2023. Next weekend, I'm at a big conference that I'm being part of. Tonight I fly to, which is our team members are being part of it. Tonight I fly to the Gold Coast. I'm doing a conference up there. And again, it's all about creating that excitement of things that we're doing. And in May, I'm taking another staff member to another conference we're doing some work at, up in Darwin. So I'm just sharing what we do in our business, but it's all planned and organised for this year and the events that we're doing. Team building activities, again, you might think, well, okay, this is a bit mushy, but again, that is what a modern day workplace. Yes, we've got the hybrid workplace, but getting that team together and getting activities happening and making people feel part of something, I think is absolutely fantastic. Last year, we did a great race in the city. The team loved it. It was done through an organisation that I support, which is Keely's Cause, and they want to do it again next year. So it was just not everyone attended, and it's not mandatory, but we put it out there. But because of last year, we'll get more people attending this year. Something we implemented this year was the big birthday celebration. We know clients do this, but you get your day off, your birthday off on your birthday as a paid day. So it's something that's a give back for being part of the team. Yes, we put a policy in place. You have to be here for 12 months to achieve it. But again, the staff see that as an added value. No different to, I'll get to that in a second, Wellbeing Day, I think is important. For anyone who does work with us and work that I've done for other clients, we at Key Business Advisors shut our business down for either half a day or a full day once a quarter. And part of that strategic plan is we come back and go, right, how are we tracking? How are we going? What other things can we do to improve our business moving forward? And again, when I get that engagement, that embracement, we do it offsite because we just feel that it's more value doing it offsite, and it just creates, if I can say it, that excitement and something to focus on for the next quarter. Training sessions is a big one. And if anything that's, if I can share with you that, I do a lot of training in this business, and I have another colleague, Ben Chapman, that does training as well. But when COVID hit, I can tell you about 300K worth of training stopped overnight. So that really, we took a financial hit on that. But what's happened now is we're seeing, towards the end of last year it started, but this year especially, if I can say it, companies are getting training, motivational sessions happening to get their team on board. And if I use the word geared up, switched on for 2023. But wellbeing days are really, really important. And, for me, it's every business owner's decision out there, or manager's decision. But, in our company, we have a lot of public holidays the first half of the year, but the second half of the year, we don't have a lot of public holidays. So we take that Monday off as a wellbeing day, paid day for our team before Cup Day. And so they get a 4-day weekend, and that'll help us with the journey back to Christmas. And I think what's important is sponsorships too. So what can you sponsor out there? And again, I'm part of two organisations, Keely's Cause and Tee Up for Kids. We sponsor them. We sponsor events to be part of our community, and it's meaningful for us. So I think what's important is what I'm trying to get across is you plan your year out, but where's the fun that actually goes with it? And some companies we speak to keep their staff happy feel that that hybrid model, allow them to work from home and back. Yes, that is part of it, but my recommendation is you want to go a little bit extra, go above and beyond. And where people go, they get up in the morning and want to come to work, if I can say that. So that's the environment you create. So this is pretty much my first topic, and it says here, leadership is about that focus, drive, and energy that you create. And I can explain, or what I say to a lot of businesses is, when the company is going in the right direction is when you can take a couple of weeks off. And I can tell you, Lorraine and I have been there, my wife and I have been there, where we're working every day while we're on holidays because things aren't going great. But when you've got it set up really, really well, you can take a couple of weeks off knowing that the business is in good hands, and that team of yours, because they're energized, focused and planned, they will drive your business and take it to the next level. And it's a great feeling, right? So I can say I've just come back from 2 weeks holiday, so I'm nice and energized for the year ahead. And the team didn't miss a heartbeat all the way through. So that's my recommendations, on that first topic. And if you've got any questions, as I said, feel free to put some questions or any information in the chat box, because I'm here to share with you what I truly believe in. Topic 2 that I want to talk to you about is how to empower staff to take more ownership. Now, this is an interesting one, right? Because we want to get more out of our team, right? So that's a really big thing. But more importantly, we want them to do more, right? So we shouldn't have to tell them. But if we set the foundations up right, then I think it's really important. So linking back to that strategic plan that I spoke about before, setting goals with your staff member through performance conversations with consistency is the key, right? So we want to empower our team. So, again, we have our one-on-ones with them, we have our conversations, our chats, but, the way I coach it and recommend it, if you're a sales team, you are managed on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly basis, right? But for an organisation where you've got multiple roles within the business, you might do performance appraisals every 6 months, or the way I coach it, every 3 months, every quarter. Because the way our strategy is we do quarterly appraisals that's linked to our quarterly get-togethers, which is linked to our quarterly goals of what we want to achieve. And again, that is all part of strategy. Commonly, we're an outsourced HR business. The calls we get is when there's a problem. And when we start talking to our clients about, well, how did the problem happen? What hasn't happened is those performance conversations or that formalized appraisal process hasn't happened. And in a lot of companies that do annual reviews, well, staff think there's a pay increase that's attached to an annual review. So it's about how you train and coach that. And I run a management course called How to Manage and Motivate Staff Through a HR Process that teaches people that this is the way to actually do it. You want to enhance their capability and skills. So if I want to get more out of an individual, what do I need to do to try and get them to that next level? And what do they need to do? So last week, even though I was on holidays, I was in Perth, I did a training session for an organisation. And every staff member that came to that training session wanted to be there. So as a professional trainer, I can assure you, there's nothing worse than training a team that don't want to be there. Yeah, so that's part of the strategy of where we're taking the organisation. I think set a career path of where they will be within your business for 2 to 3 years, or where they want to go. Even if they want to leave, you're part of that process. Now, I know that's hard because we never want staff to leave, but the reality is it happens if they see an opportunity that they want to take advantage of. But today's world, you want to make sure that there's some form of career path in place. If you're not trying to put that in front of them, if they're eager, then they're going to go elsewhere and find that career path for themselves if you don't put that carrot in front of them and help them. You know, the big talk is empower them to follow through on their responsibilities. So again, you know, the thing I coach when you're having a conversation, we say, this is what the business needs to achieve. This is what we want to achieve as a team. But what I want you to do is I need you to take ownership and be responsible for the outcomes. And training is a big thing. And I talk about this all the time. So if mistakes happen in a business, you know, we sit back and case study, well, okay, let's look at what happened. How did it happen? And what are some ways that we can prevent this from happening again? How do we fix it? And then get those people to take more ownership. I will say stupid is what stupid does. So if you've got people there that just don't get it, well, that's a performance management conversation in relation to you're underperforming. Train and develop your team, right? So the quote from Tom O'Toole, you know, is just, it's what he's all about. Just keep training your team, get them motivated, get them energized, and show them the big picture of what you're trying to achieve within the organization. I like the big one, get them out of their comfort zone and challenge them, right? So again, in our business, you know, I've pushed some of my team, you know, Alison Fletcher, if anyone knows her, she's one of our leaders in the business. She's presenting at a conference next weekend, right? And she's so out of her comfort zone, but she can do it and she wants to do it. And I think that's the point. You know, if you've got that vibe, you've got that energy in your business, you've got that drive, this is where we're heading, staff members will come to you and say, can I do this? I want to do this. I want to have a go at it, right? And it's a bit like, what's the word? It's a bit like your child. And yesterday I painted a room with my daughter and I got her on a roller, right? Now, I didn't really want to get her on a roller because of the sloppy paint, but I know that if I don't put her on a roller, then how's she ever going to learn? So I challenged her to get on the roller and paint a wall, right? And away we went. And then it was a team effort afterwards. It's the same thing in business. Increase that expectation and responsibility, because if you want to grow, now I just want to put it out there. Staff want more money. Don't get me wrong. They want to get a pay increase, and the media is putting it out there. You know, there's a skill shortage, all of the above. Okay, you want a pay increase. This is what I need you to get to. I need you to get to this level. I need to show me consistency that you can do this without any form of supervision. Treat them like a leader in your business within the job role, right? I want you to own this role and own it to the point where I don't have to come and check on you. You manage up to me, right? So if you think there's a mistake that's going to happen or you need someone to proof it, you come to me, not the other way around. And that's probably the biggest message I'm trying to portray in this webinar is you shouldn't have to manage staff. If you've got a great culture, great environment, they'll come to you and manage you and tell you, this is what I need help with. Can you check this? And hold you accountable. And I certainly have a team in my business that do that to me all the time. I think valuing their opinion is a big one. And again, some coaching that we do with some business owners, they've got all the answers, but so does the team as well. So value their opinion. And if you don't like it, give them the reasons why, or trial it and do a bit of a test case first. And that big one is reward for effort. So what does reward look like for effort? Now, I have somebody that's got their hand up. So is that Emma, is that you? Has you got a question? No? That's all right. Yes. Colleen's got a question. Emma, got a question. So do you want to ask me that question? Do you want me to turn? I can't see my screen. Now they can see my screen. Okay, that's good. Okay, so something's dropped out. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's happened there, but let me just quickly fix that. Share. All right, so that should be that right now. So can I just ask, can you see the screen empowering team members on my screen? The big full screen. I've reshared it and I'm going to continue once, assuming you can share it. No. Okay, hang on a sec. What is going on? Give me 1 sec, guys. Sorry, a little technical issue. I'll just fix that right now. While I'm fixing it, how am I going so far? So Emma, is that now working? Can you see that? Yes, thank you. Yes, all right, beautiful. Thanks, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, now if I go to my next slide, right, which is around understanding staff's needs. So, okay, so here it is. This is something that's come out of it's called the Passion Pyramid, and we do a lot of DISC profiling, personality profiling. And what that's about just understanding what employees' needs are and how to work with different personalities. But what you'll see here is at the bottom, number one, what are employees' needs? To be respected. Yep, no problems. Number two is to learn and grow. Number three, to be an insider. Number four, to do meaningful work. And I think that's really important. The work that you're putting out to your team, it's got to be meaningful. Yes, there might be some times where it's boring and dull, but I want it to be meaningful. And the big one is to be on a winning team. So everyone wants to be on a winning team. And that's why, you know, I've come into 2023 with that drive and that we're going to be a great team this year and really manifested that. So if I have a look at leadership skills, leaders, so all leaders, we need to make sure that we've got people skills to build trust. Now that's a really interesting thing, people skills. Well, that's all communication. We've got great people skills. We respect our team to come to us. We have a basic level of employee engagement. And again, I link it back to the strategy where you want to go with the business. You need to be a good coach. Yes, counseling and mentor skills. You need to know how to coach people because you've got to teach them how to learn and grow, and you end up with more talented employees. Being inclusive. So we talked about valuing your staff's opinions. So if they're inclusive, then basically they feel like they're an insider and they will feel more emotionally connected to your business. And a big one for me is that meaningful work. So we want to align the team with your purpose, values, and vision, as it says there, and making sure that the work that they're doing, there's huge satisfaction, which creates an increased commitment and engagement. Every Monday morning, we share what's happened for the week, last week, any great stories, any great successes, anything we need to be aware of, and what are we looking forward to next week. That's just all part of keeping that energy moving forward. And the last one, you want to build a high-performing team where, you know, everyone feels that they're on a winning team and you end up with very passionate employees. And passion is everything. You employ people who've got a passion for the job that they actually want to go into. So it's really, really important that we get that model right when we're recruiting people. Okay, if I move on now, understanding the negative communication. So I've got something on negative and positive. If there's negative communication within the business, number one, it's going to impact motivation, right? So I'll come to work and do the job, but will I be motivated? And, you know, that's some of the things that I look for when I go into a company, and so does my team, is their high motivation. Now, you can walk into a business and you can feel the vibe when they're walked in, whether it's on fire or not on fire, right? And that's really what I'm trying to talk about. So if there's negative communication, then that's a big no-no. Negative communication also creates uncertainty. So again, misalignment. It will create conflict, disengagement. Staff will become, you know, that low care factor, low morale, and mistakes will start to happen because it's just not there. You end up staff having poor self-esteem, disgruntled employees. Yes, you'll lose people, and you probably lose the wrong people. They'll move on. And then, you know, we see, and again, we're an outsourced HR business, and for the month of January, just give you an example, normally we get, you know, like bullying, harassment, work cover issues. We might get 2, 3 or 4 in a month. We had over 10 in January coming into the new year. So it just sort of shows you that communication is everything, and it's that positive reinforcement that you've got to keep driving. If I look at the positive stuff, it does the total reverse. It creates motivation, removes uncertainty, less conflict, more engagement, high care factor, fewer mistakes. Yeah, because people check their work. High self-esteem, empowered employees, consistent results, and it builds trust and increases team happiness. This is where we want to be when we go into the workplace. All right, so I'm going to share with you in a sec just another, just something that's nice and simple. So let me just pull it up, and let me show you. So DISC, a lot of people have done some form of personality profiling, and I think it's great. But for me, what's really, really important is, looking at some of the tools out there. And I'm a big fan of this tool. So I'm just going to log in. So give me 1 sec, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here we go. So I'm just going to move it over to the screen to my right. Here we go. Okay, so you should see this. Here we go, on the screen. All right, so this is a tool. So if anyone's ever done DISC before about personality profiling, it's going to show you. So I just want to make sure can you see the screen that's on the screen in front of me? Is that a yes? Perfect. Okay, so basically what it is, it's a tool, right? So this is a tool about how do I work with different personalities in the workplace. So I can learn about my style. So I can click on some links. I'm not going to go through this in detail. If anyone wants a full demonstration, absolutely give us a call. We can go through, but it talks about different personalities. People of dominance, people of influence, people of steadiness, people who are conscientious. And it gives you a bit of a map and tells you a story about the type of person you are and what you do and how do you achieve it. So I've just got a message saying, no, is that correct? No, you can see it, perfect. All right, so if I scroll down, you can see that you can see everything that's on my screen. All right, so you can see how it is. Now you'll notice here I've got a podcast. So if I'm a person that works in a business like this business, and I get a DISC profile completed, and I want to learn a bit about a DISC style or a particular style, I can go for a walk with my dog and have a look at it. During lunchtime, I can watch or listen to a podcast around how does a DI style work in a workplace. Just to give you a bit of an idea of how it works, you'll see if I scroll down, learn about the DISC model. There's a video which I won't play, but if I go down below, you'll see here that there's 4 types of styles. So priorities of a D, priorities of an I, priorities of an S, priorities of a C. This is what's important to them. So different personalities need to learn to work with their direct opposites and the same personality within the workplace. I just want to put it out there, we are everything within our DISC profile. But what happens is when there's conflict in a workplace or people don't get along or they don't value each other's opinions, you'll see that the dominated people will actually take control over the people who are not so dominated. And in a lot of cases, we go to businesses, they're the people like, don't go and talk to him because he's going to, he's not the right person to speak to because he's going to tell you this is how it is. But every personality has a style, and it's about understanding that style. But the thing that I really want to bring your attention to, which is a great tool, and we use this in our business, and for me, what I love the most is I love the fact that we've got this thing down below, which is all your colleagues. So I can actually choose a colleague of my profile against somebody else's. So again, how can I work with this person better? And I think that's what's really, really important. So this is a new tool that came out during COVID because it used to be all DISC profiles used to be printed in hard copy, and now they've created the software. But just to make you laugh and try and create a bit of humour, I'm going to choose my wife who works in my business. And again, that's not easy for any business out there when there's 2 brothers or father and son, father and daughter, or 2 sisters, or husband and wife. Those family businesses that we do work a lot with sometimes struggle. But you can sort of see, like, this is Lorraine's profile, what she cares about, what I do, just to make sure I get the best out of her, and how, what creates a stress environment for her. So if you have a look, you can see these personalities and we're direct opposites. Maybe that's the reason why the marriage works, right? But what's important is to look at the styles of what's important. So I'm all about actions, result, enthusiasm, collaboration. That's me, I'm a driver. And she's all about stability, accuracy, and support. So we're a good team together. They're not saying she doesn't have the enthusiasm. She does absolutely 100%. but it's not in her comfort zone to do that, if that sort of makes sense, when addressing a team. Okay, things that you might find really, really interesting is similarities, and then differences. And then if you have a look here, you then start to see, compare your tendencies of how you work. So I'm strong-willed, she's accommodating. And it gives you tips on how to work with one another better. And, I'm private, sorry, she's private, I'm more outgoing. So as you can see, this is a great tool. And again, it creates good culture within your business where people can go in there and have a look at, well, how do I work better with this particular person? So it goes all the way through. There's 12 different items that you can see, but then it talks about this, which is what I love the best, tension. So what if things get tense? And again, we're in a workplace. So, the old parents used to say, just get along. Well, it doesn't work quite like that in the workplace. We've got to work out how can we work better together? And I think this is a real proactive way of doing it. How do I connect better with Lorraine? How do I collaborate better with Lorraine? And how do I get really good buy-in with some of my ideas and everything like that? I only wish I had this before I got married. It would have been a great test, but we're one of the lucky ones, if I can say it, in business, because people ask, how do you work with your wife? And it just works, if I can say that. For some reason, we have this magic formula and it just works. Okay, all right. So if I move on to the next one, topic 3, how to increase better performance across your business. Now, again, feel free to ask me any questions. Let me know how I'm going. If there's something I've missed, something you want to know, but feel free to put something in the chat box. All right. Just got to get myself back onto the screen. Here we go. Beautiful. All right. So this topic, as I said before, is about how to increase better performance across your business. Here we go. So get your team aligned with your goals. So that was my message in pretty much first and second section. You need to be upfront, share your goals, your company direction with your team. You need to tell them this is where we want to go. You need to engage staff in wanting to achieve this result for you and for your company. They need to understand why you are, not so why you're in business, but what's behind in running a business. I do a lot of work with clients around business acumen. When I go into this is a tip for you, when you go and talk to the team, ask the team, do you understand what business acumen is? And most people don't know. It is about how the business makes money, because if the business is not making money, then how can you stay in business? And I go into a lot of companies and I might ask the team, the staff, who pays your wages? And 90% of the time they say it's the owner. It's not, it's your customers who pay your wages, right? So again, there's a bit of alignment. So, next time you speak to a customer, speak to them with some passion, be there for them, right? Go that extra mile, because it's them that helps you grow your business, and they pay your wages. You need to educate your staff and work out ways you can make this result happen, and you need to communicate results regularly with your staff to ensure they're aligned, motivated, and want to succeed. Again, I don't want to reflect too much on the past, but during COVID, the business owners and the managers who are really good communicators with their team hung around. The staff hung around, and they stayed with them and worked with them. For the people who are poor communicators, they lost staff, and a lot of them. So communication is everything. And I think you want to create some sort of reward, team effort, incentive. Could be a bonus structure for going above and beyond, or achieving, some goals, expectations, or targets. That is a conversation that you need to go back, and that goes part of your strategic plan. How do we want to reward our team? And as I mentioned before, very big on setting that year up in front of you well ahead, because that's motivating for the team. I asked this question to lots of business owners. What does success look like for a new employee, for your employee? What does it look like for your business, right? So it's got to be a two-way street. And in recruiting of today, the interviewee actually interviews the interviewer more so than the other way around now. They're choosing, are you a great workplace? Is there great culture? Should I go and invest my time and come and work for you? Are you going to take me to my next level? Okay, outcomes for training and development, as we talked about before. Staff outcomes, self-satisfaction, they feel valued, empowered, they have a purpose, they're more productive, and more job satisfaction, more rewards. And the outcomes for the business owner or for the business is skillful and talented employees. And if you're in a professional services business or a business that charges for time and all that sort of stuff, this is paramount that you've actually got that in the business. If you're a person that has a lathe business that does material handling, good welders, all the above, you need those skills in your business to get the output. Increase in productivity, there's reduced wasted time, fewer mistakes and rework, better customer outcomes, more profitability, which is what we're all trying to achieve. A lot of people don't put a value on HR, but HR is a big part of people and culture. It's about getting your recruitment induction right. So we recruit people, how do you induct them and set them up for success? Again, I want to make sure that I get the best employees and retain my employees. And it's proven. Companies have got a really good HR process in their business, where they've got everything in place, PDs, rostering, payroll, they've got their, performance plans, all of that, processes, policies, all the record keeping, due diligence. Those companies that have that in place are the ones that retain employees because it's professional, right? So you just don't want to let your team down, and wages is one of the biggest expense, if not the biggest expense in the business. For 2023, begin with the end in mind. So, for me, stay focused and don't let outside noise disturb you, right? So, and again, we're talking to some owners, they're talking to other businesses and they're getting advice from here or from a friend, family member, the whole lot, and they're getting confused. For me, it's about this. If you're going to get advice from somebody, you might get maybe 2 or 3, no more, ideally 1 that's going to drive you, that gets you to the next level. And when I talk about advice, professional advice. So if it's an accountancy, you get a professional advice from a proper accountant. If it's a lawyer, you get professional advice from a lawyer. And and I think that's really important. If you want business advice to get your business to the next level, increase your sales or manage your staff, you go and get that professional advice. Don't get 4 or 5 people where you get all confused and change your mind every 5 minutes, because all you're going to do is disrupt your own business. Okay, so I hope I've covered a lot in this webinar. So have we got any questions? Or feel free to put it into either the chat box or the question box. And while you're doing that, I'll come back to this slide. But I've got some free downloads if you want to download on how to build a great culture within your business, or download something around best practice. Feel free to go to our website. We have free downloads of information, and all of that is about trying to help businesses to get to that next level. And then if you like this webinar, feel free to register for our next webinar. This is about sales and how to grow your business. And again, I think that's a big drive for a lot of companies this year, which is really, really important. So I'm just going to go back. Any questions? Don't be shy. Must be 1 or 2 questions. I always get asked this question. If I'm going to create some change in my business and get it to the next level, how long do you think it'll take? And the answer to that question is, it'll take 3 to 6 months to create a turn, and then 12 months to embed it, so it's fully embedded, where to the point where it's self-managed. So it's about a 6 to an 18 months, maybe even 2-year journey, depending on where the business is actually at. And I've got plenty of case studies where we've gone in there, we've built a strategic plan, we've then created from the plan, shared that with the team. We did it with all their stakeholders or their leaders, and then we've executed on that plan beautifully for that client, and put in some compliance around how to manage people and get that process right. And culture's the best it's ever been. And that particular business, when I presented at their Christmas party last year, was 40% up on the previous year, which is a fantastic result. So, it is about getting that professional advice and getting it through. So I don't have any questions because you're all a little bit shy, but feel free to contact me or any one of the team members. We can help you with one of the following: business strategy growth, people and culture, HR advice support, or any type of sales training to grow your business. I really hope that you've enjoyed this webinar, and feel free, if you like the webinar, give us some feedback. And again, that is a big thing, talking about embracing teams. So, for me, it's all about how do we get good Google reviews for our business? because good Google reviews helps with our Google rankings, and it helps us generate more business. So if I've done a good job for you today and you really enjoyed my session, then give me some feedback. If I haven't, well, you can give me some feedback, but I'd rather hear from you first before you give me that feedback so I can clarify anything. But 45-minute webinar, I'm right on time. It's 1:44. So I just want to say thank you very, very much for joining me today, and feel free to reach out if you need any help. Thank you. And that concludes the webinar.